Welcome to the Retire with Peace podcast, the podcast where we help you create a fulfilling and stress-free retirement. Each week, we bring you expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you plan and live your best retirement life. Whether you're nearing retirement or already enjoying your golden years, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to retire with peace.
Welcome back to the Retire with Peace podcast. We continue our series on health with another replayed episode from about a year and a half ago about drinking your water. Check it out. Drink your water. That's the theme of today, is drinking your water. But before we go into water drinking and the benefits and how much to drink, I want to circle back first on our previous episode on eating protein, because we got lots of questions on that in terms of what types of protein to eat, how do I do it, what's a typical day. So let's touch on that first, and then we can transition into drinking water and staying hydrated. So on the protein topic, I talked about having ideally 1 gram of protein per day per ideal body weight in pounds. That's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can get around there, you're going to be in a pretty good place. So for example, if your ideal body weight is 200 pounds, target 200 grams of protein. If it's 150 pounds, target 150 grams of protein. And as we mentioned in the previous episode, try to keep your calories in check, and a lot of apps will help with that. So how do we do that? What types of protein are we focused on? Well, let's start with what is a typical day. Now, I have a job, I have 3 kids, I have a family, happily married, all that stuff. Lots of stuff happens throughout the day. So when we talk about an ideal day, that doesn't always exist, but there are some themes and some common trends that are easier to stick with and help with that goal of getting enough protein throughout the day. So personally, I tend to start the day almost every day with a protein shake, especially if I have worked out early in the morning. A whey protein shake is helpful. Just a quick absorption of protein. You can get a lot of it. And it's low fat, low sugar, just a nice, easy way to start the day, making sure I get a good chunk of protein right off the bat. Then throughout the day, if we can target at least 3 more times where we are eating 30 plus grams of protein, that's going to put us in a good spot to go along with the early morning protein shake. Because if you think about it, if you have 4 separate times, if I do a shake right off the bat and then have 3 other times where I'm eating 30 plus grams of protein, if you're somewhere in the 30 to 35 grams of protein each time, you're going to right off the bat fall into 120 to 140 grams of protein for the day. Targeting that and then supplementing from there, maybe I add 1 more time where I'm eating 30 grams of protein, or if I'm not having time during the day, which is pretty common, if I don't have time to really prepare that well, I can supplement with maybe a protein bar, protein shake, things like that, to ultimately get me up to the protein that I need. So what are those 3 to 4 other times that I'm looking at consuming protein look like? Well, it's always good to have a lot of lean options, first of all. So we're talking chicken. I use chicken quite a bit. Tuna, just straight up tuna out of a can. You can mix it with mayo and cheese, which obviously adds a lot of fat and some calories, but it's not really outrageous if you're mixing it with tuna, which is pretty low cal, high protein. So you can have something that's 300 to 400 calories. That's tuna, mayo, shredded cheese. It'll fill you up really well. You can also have other types of fish that are very lean, obviously salmon, tilapia, things like that. Also good sources of protein to have throughout the day. Now, not every single time has to be super lean protein. Obviously, if you're going to be a bodybuilder or something crazy, that's great. Go for it. Then you might need some stuff that's really, really lean. But don't be afraid of other meat that's not as lean. That can be part of the diet, again, as long as you're keeping your calories in check. So, beef, pork, turkey. Don't shy away from red meat altogether. Obviously, you can't have a cheeseburger every single time. One of them is actually not terrible for you. Having 1 cheeseburger, really the bread's probably the worst part. But don't shy away from red meat, steaks. There's actually a lot of value and different amino acids that you can get in that type of protein. And I know that red meat got a really bad rap for a while, and that's just not deserved. There's actually a lot of value in having the types of proteins that are in red meat. So, yes, focus on lean meat. That's great. Awesome. It's going to be really good, especially for calorie restriction. But don't completely shy away from red meat. It actually has a lot of important amino acids and other proteins in it. Because remember, protein's not just one thing, it's actually a combination of a whole bunch of different types of proteins and amino acids. And we're not going to go too deep into the science behind it. But I just wanted to give everyone a flavor of what does it mean to eat a lot of protein? What does that look like throughout the day? Again, protein shake is helpful for me in the morning. Doesn't have to be that for you. Lean meat, chicken, fish, tilapia, tuna, salmon, pick your fish. I'm not a huge fish person, but there's a few that I'll eat. And then don't shy away from red meat. And also eggs. Eggs are outstanding. Again, talk about something that got a bad rap for a while. I know for a long time, the thought was, well, eggs are high in cholesterol, and if you eat too many, you're going to wind up with high cholesterol. That is not how that works. Just because you are ingesting the cholesterol does not send it straight to your arteries and your heart. That's not how that goes. There might be a very, very small number of people for which ingesting a lot of cholesterol will be an issue for them. That is not the vast majority of people. So do not shy away from eggs. They are outstanding. Another good source of protein for you. So you have plenty of different options. Again, if you can stack up 4 different times, I use the shake for one of them at least, but if you can stack up 4 different times of having 30 to 35 grams of protein, you're already in the 120 to 140 range for the day. You're starting off well. You can supplement from there with yet another meal of high protein, or again, possibly another shake or something like that as a supplement. And that should really help you get to where you need to be from a protein intake, and really set you up well for the rest of the day. So that's a little bit more on eating protein, because we got a whole bunch of questions on that. So let's turn our attention to drinking water. I have gotten in a good habit of drinking water and can most days get, if not a gallon of water, close to it. Now, that does not necessarily have to be everybody's goal. Interestingly, since I started doing it a little less than a year ago, I will actually notice when I say only have a half a gallon of water in a day. Definitely has an impact. I will notice that difference in how I feel. So I would encourage everybody to try to increase your water intake. Doesn't necessarily have to get up to a gallon per day. It's a little bit tough at first. You wind up waking up in the middle of the night, going to the bathroom. Your body adjusts after that. So it's not terrible in the long run. But over time, if you can increase your water intake, it's going to have huge benefits for you, make you feel a whole lot better. So to encourage people to drink more water and have that be a focus of staying healthy and being able to especially retire with peace and retire with good health, I went through and made a list of just how drinking more water can help you. So here's a short list. There's probably even more than this. Promoting healthy skin, normalizing blood pressure, aiding digestion, helps protect organs and tissues, lubricates joints, flushing waste out, flushing bacteria from the bladder and waste products from the body, helps your kidneys, your liver, all the above. It's great stuff. Carrying nutrients and oxygen, regulating body temperature. So I can go on. There's a long list, but there's so many benefits to just drinking more water and staying hydrated. And it doesn't have to just be water. You can put electrolyte packets in that if that helps, especially if you're exercising a lot. Maybe getting an electrolyte packet, which puts a little flavor in the water. You can add lemon to water if that's your style. That's fine. But just any way that you can, drink more water throughout the day. It does help fill you up as well. So it can knock down some cravings for eating throughout the day if you're still full from drinking water. But as I just listed all the health benefits from your joints to your bloodstream, blood pressure, delivering nutrients, healthy skin, healthy brain, just all the above. If I can do one simple thing today. It's to encourage everybody, grab more water and drink it. It's going to provide some amazing benefits to you. You start combining eating enough protein with drinking water, and it is outstanding for you. Then we just got to mix in with the exercise, which we will talk about in future episodes. But for today, eat your protein and especially drink your water.